Congratulations, Gamera! You have finally distinguished yourself from Godzilla. This is Gamera vs. Gyaos, the third Gamera movie, and the second one to be directed by the director of the first Gamera movie, whose name is slipping me right now, but he didn't direct the second one, Gamera vs. Barugon, but he did the special effects work for that movie, so he's come back to direct this one, and he would finish off the rest of the original Gamera series. But this movie opens up with Gamera at a volcano. He's at the edge of a volcano because he's finally found a way to regenerate his power without causing collateral damage for the humans. And he kind of just falls into the volcano. He throws himself in. It's like, wow, that whole sequence was during the credits, and that's like the shortest movie ever. But obviously there had to be another monster, since the other monster's name is in the title. So what happens next is the humans decide to gather a helicopter to try to find out what happened to Gamera. Did he die? Did he make it out? What's going on? So they see the volcano, but then not too far from the volcano, they see this green light coming from this cave. And just out of nowhere, a giant laser shoots up in the sky, basically slices the helicopter in half, and then the helicopter blows up, killing everyone in there. Later that night, a kid and a photographer head to the cave to see what's going on, and they find this giant nocturnal winged creature called Gyaos. At least that's what the villagers call the monster. Gyaos eats the reporter, and right as he's about to eat the kid, Gamera comes in, saves the kid, and the rest of the movie is the self-defense force trying to figure out what to do with Gyaos as Gamera kind of just comes in every now and then. So if I sound a little stuffy right now, I apologize. I just recovered from a cold, but I didn't want it to interfere with my schedule with these Gamera movies. I plan to get them out on time, and nothing's going to stand in my way. So I was really not impressed with Gamera vs. Barugon. I thought it was very slow, just uninteresting, and the fact that they pretty much ignore Gamera throughout most of the movie is a bit of a problem. This movie is more lighthearted than the last one. It's sort of like the first one, except you have an additional monster here. It's a little more fast-paced, and there definitely are some unintentionally funny moments. It doesn't lack any of that. But I definitely think that this is a better movie than the second one, and even better than the first one, probably because you have an additional monster, which we'll talk about soon. What doesn't work in this movie are the fact that the special effects still don't hold a candle to any of the Godzilla movies. Like, there's a sequence where a bunch of fighter jets are flying over the cave trying to kill Gyaos, and Gyaos just shoots them all with their laser, but what happens is the laser cuts the planes, and the pieces come flying off, and then they explode, like, a second or two later. It's like, you couldn't make them just blow up right there, or as it's splitting apart. I mean, it's just, it still comes across as unconvincing. It's like something that Eiji Tsuburaya might frown upon, but something that Ed Wood would look at and go, brilliant. That is brilliant right there. But it's cheesy. It's cheesy as hell. But it makes for some really great Mystery Science Theater 3000 content. So it's unconvincing models, but the city destruction scenes with Gyaos are really cool. Gyaos definitely looks a little cheesy. I mean, he's pretty much inspired from Rodan, but the way his face looks, those teeth, he looks like the original Jaws animatronic from the studio tour back in 1976 when the attraction first opened. I mean, basically that carrot tooth shark just looks so fake. But it's something you can admire for how cheesy it is. And Gyaos is a very important monster in this Gamera series for the entire legacy of Gamera, because he is to Gamera what King Ghidorah is to Godzilla, or what the Joker is to Batman. He is Gamera's arch nemesis. He's the monster that's appeared more times than any other monster in the series. And he's usually the monster that provides the biggest challenge for Gamera, whether it's a longer fight or in multiple numbers. Gyaos is the most recognizable monster in the series outside of Gamera himself. And this is also the first movie where Gamera is definitively a hero. I mean, he doesn't destroy any buildings. He now gets his power source from a volcano, and he can actually understand humans. Like, when he saves the kid, he takes the kid to an amusement park and lands right next to a Ferris wheel, so the other humans can take the Ferris wheel up and grab the kid who's on top of Gamera's shell. But there's a point where this I really like this. Gamera is a little too far from the Ferris wheel, so when the guy's trying to reach the kid, he can't do it. So he says, "Hey Gamera, could you lean in?" I'm not making this up. He says that, and Gamera just kind of leans to the side, and then the guy grabs the kid. It's amusing, and again, Mystery Science Theater worthy. Now, one thing I really don't like, and it's not something I actually hate, but it's like, you could have cut this out because it means nothing to this story. There's a business that wants to build a highway that would demolish this village that Gyaos keeps terrorizing. And there's conflict between the villagers and the construction workers, and once Gyaos pops up, it just kind of goes nowhere. They mention it for a scene or two before the end of the movie. It's just like, well, none of that really meant anything, so what was the point of having it? I guess it was trying to make the humans a little more interesting, to give them some importance, but you're just like, yeah, come on, I don't give a shit about this. I want to see the monsters fight, even if they just kind of bump into each other and stand around. But overall, this is a very entertaining monster movie. I like it a little better than the first one, definitely better than Gamera vs. Barugon, but if you're not into the cheesiness, if you want something a little more serious, then this is not the movie for you. But if you enjoy the cheesiness, or you just want to see something that you can easily make fun of with your friends, then this is definitely worth checking out. But my rating is overall going to be good, but not great. Again, if you're not into the cheesiness, don't bother. If you are, or want something to watch to make fun of, then this is the movie for you. And that's my review for Gamera vs. Gyaos. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie, if you've seen it. Like, subscribe, go check out my video blog channel. You can follow me on Twitter at AlexG8462. Follow me on Instagram at TheRealMrRobinson. And go like my Facebook page /TheRealMrRobinson. Don't forget to check out my written movie reviews on Geeked Out Nation. And this is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.